Langendorf bread. They stay freshly delicious longer. Get a loaf of fresh, flavorful Langendorf bread tomorrow. Double your money back if you don't agree.
It's America's finest.
Let's hear it for Jeannie. Our next program is a spoof of the popular cooking show from 1949, the Betty Crocker Magazine of the Air. The cast features Bonnie Smigel as Betty Crocker and Lois Daris as her guest, Sherri. And from coast to coast, General Mills brings you the Betty Crocker Magazine of the Air. Here is, to welcome us, is America's First Lady of Foods, Betty Crocker.
Hello, and welcome to the Betty Crocker Magazine of the Air, the show where we cook and chat at the same time. I'm your host, Betty Crocker, and my guest today is Sherri. Welcome, Sarah. Tell me what you've been up to.
Hello, and thank you for having me. On the way over, I saw that the peanut butter couldn't cross the road because there was a traffic jam.
What did you do to avoid the jam?
I went to a restaurant that serves breakfast any time, and I ordered French toast.
Really? So what time did you order it?
During the Renaissance.
Wow, that's amazing. You know, I heard some news about you. I heard it through the grapevine.
You're just about to read my mind.
Are you planning to open a new bakery?
Yes, if I can raise the dough.
You.
Did you hear that our local baseball team just hired a cook?
Really? Why?
They wanted a new batter.
That's funny. Speaking of batter, I heard Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If she put it in her batter, it would make her batter bitter. But a bit of bitter butter, that would make her batter better.
So she bought some bitter butter and she put it in her batter and her batter wasn't bitter?
Yes! Did you hear about the garden race?
No. Do tell.
The lettuce was ahead. The hose was running, and the tomato was trying to catch up.
Wow. Do you know what you get when you have 1,000,000 blueberries trying to get through the same door?
No. What do you get when you have 1,000,000 blueberries trying to get through the same door?
A blueberry jam.
Walked right into that one.
And now I'd like to tell your listeners how to make an orange giggle.
Great. How do you make an orange giggle?
Tickle its navel.
Do you know why gingerbread men always wear long pants?
No. Why do gingerbread men always wear long pants?
Because he got crummy legs.
Sounds good to me. Do you know why teddy bears never eat dessert?
No. Why?
Because they're always stuffed.
That's adorable. Well, I'm afraid that's all we have time for today. I want to thank my guest, Sherri. I'm Betty Crocker. Do join us next time on the Betty Crocker Magazine of the Air. We'll be expecting you.
You have been the guest of the Betty Crocker Magazine of the Air, brought to you Monday through Friday at this time for service, entertainment, and good eating by General Mills. The Jack Benny program, starring Jack Benny, is a radio TV comedy series that ran for more than 3 decades and is generally regarded as the high-water mark in 20th century American comedy. Jack Benny first appeared on radio as a guest of Ed Sullivan in 1932. He was then given a show later that year. In October 1st, 1944, the show became the Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny when American Tobacco's Lucky Strike cigarettes took over as his radio sponsor through the mid-1950s. Although the character of Rochester may be carried or considered a stereotype by some, Jack Benny treated him as an equal. In many routines, Rochester got the better of Jack Benny, often outwitting him. The show's portrayal of black characters could be seen as advanced for that time. The Jack Benny script we are going to perform for you today was originally broadcast on September 28, 1952. This episode is a spoof of the 1952 American Western High Noon, starring Gary Cooper and Grace Kelly. The film tells in real time the story of a town marshal forced to face a gang of killers by himself. The cast is as follows: Don Wilson, the announcer, Dwight Smart; telephone caller, Dana Sharon; Gertrude Gearshift and Mabel Flopsaddle; a pair of telephone switchboard operators, Jeannie Herlihy and Evan Lipson; Pauline, a lady's maid, Evelyn Lipson; Jack Benny, Jordan Lawson; Rochester, Jack's valet and chauffeur, Garit Imhoff; Mary, Jack's love interest, Bonnie Smigel; Bob, also known as Tex, Tim Griffin; Dennis Day, the singer, Lisa Illianna; the justice, Amiel, Sharon; Cy, Jerry Carp; Sue, Anita Provence; and as the old coot, Lois Daris. The Lucky Strike program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Rochester, Dennis Day, Bob Crosby, and yours truly, Don Wilson.
Hello, this is CBS, the address of the stars. May I help you?
Yes, operator. With the change of time from daylight back to standard, could you tell me what program is on at 4 o'clock?
Just a minute. Say, Mabel, what program's on today at 4 o'clock?
Dunno, Gertrude. I'll look it up in this radio guide.
Hold it. Mabel, hold it.
Huh?
Look whose picture's on page 8.
Well, take off my glove and dial with my naked finger if it ain't Jack Benny. He's not only handsome, but what character.
Some character. One night last week he drove me up to Mulholland Drive, pulled over to a lonely spot, turned off the ignition and said, "Well, what do you know, I'm out of gas."
No.
Yeah. So
Oh, I bet that embarrassed him.
I said I'd be very happy to buy some.
Yeah. Sure
But-
embarrassed.
It embarrassed him nuttin'. He siphoned a gallon out of his own tank and sold it to me. But Mabel, you can't stay mad at a man like Jack Benny. Just look at that picture.
Yeah, and just look at those muscles.
Muscles where?
On the floor. They fell out of his sleeve.
Oh yeah, now I see him. Hello, this is CBS, address of the stars. May I help you?
Operator, this is Jack Benny.
Gertrude, what's the matter?
I think he's waiting for applause.
No, I'm not. Operator, with the time change today, I'd like to check my watch. What time is it, please?
It's 20 minutes to 4.
That's funny. I've got 20 minutes to 3.
Mabel, what time have you got?
20 minutes to 5.
No, honey, you moved your watch ahead an hour, and you're supposed to move it back. Gee, are you dumb?
Not as dumb as Jack Benny. He didn't move his at all.
How could he? His muscles fell out of his sleeves.
I heard that. I'm hanging up the phone. That Gertrude thinks she's so smart. That's the last time I give her Ethel for the price of regular.
Hello, boss.
Rochester, why'd you have to be late?
Late? I got 20 minutes to 2.
Oh, no wonder. Our watches are mixed up. It's all your fault.
My fault?
What did you do at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Well, what I always do, boss.